I'm talking in the silence, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing now, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah? And that I'm sick of this friend zone. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone.
They can try, but can't do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixes 'cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the light. hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get off you. Day to day you wanna stay out, you're chasing the light, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the light, chasing the night, chasing the chasing the night, holding on for chasing the night, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the night.
You call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up, take a X, and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say Donis, why you sad? I said I just need the thing. Red tape, got too close, I hit the city. Black face, show you everything you need till you fornicate it bad. Someone said it is sad, 'cause I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times, yeah, yeah.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in today. You're welcome stream with your host Laz for ESA Mountain Dew League. We have Rebirth versus Depth. Looking very forward to both games, and it is going to be a bit of an interesting one. But you know what? Before we get into the fun stuff, the nitty gritty stuff, let's just talk about me for a sec. So for anybody that hasn't been on this channel, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Laz. I'm one of the ESA Next Big Caster contestants. So I am competing against other casters in North America to hopefully get a spot at the grand finals to have a chance to have for more commentary action. And of course, they want a big shout out to ESA and Mountain Dew for the opportunity. And hopefully we will see you guys in the top 3. But nonetheless, a little bit less about me now. Talking a bit about Rebirth and also Depth. So Depth going to be actually 11-5 in the season, with Rebirth being 9-5 this so far in the season. So rank for Depth is actually 5th, whereas number 7 for Rebirth. So really, really close contenders out of the 18 teams in the Mountain Dew League so far. Looking very, very forward to seeing how this thing can go. And we're getting really, really close to the end because, I mean, now we're approaching playoffs. So it's getting to the end here, guys and girls. So we will switch things over to the, fancy in-game. You guys can watch them pre-game. You don't have to watch my face anymore. Players are still connecting, as we can see. Still waiting for a few more. But you know what? Figure, just grab your Mountain Dew, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and we'll be getting things going here very, very shortly. Well, I guess I lied, guys and girls. Waiting for more players to now reconnect to a new server, so I think there was a bit of an issue. But you know what? We'll get on it. We'll make sure we figure out the issue here. Just reading the chat, and thank you so much for tuning in. So while we wait, let's just play some fun music for you guys. Again, you don't have to look at my face for so long, but we'll just try to figure out what's going on with the IP, and we will be back. Don't go away.
Ayo, we rose from the dust to the sun. They claiming that we the one, never one-on-one. Teamwork till we done. Sent on a mission, we got ambition. Never scared, we won't run. Never one and done. Some sit back and some like the hunt. I pick my teammates up when they fall. And if I ball, we all ball. Crashing balls, crossovers and all. Just call us the balls. Don't fear nothing, call us galore. Serving them all. We outside, we barely indoors because we gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab nothing. Seems we moved on to a better place. Shine, shine away from the shade. But now that we're here, ain't no going back. This is the moment to go. This is the moment to shine. This is the moment to show. Show me the rocks you could climb. This is the moment to feel the path like you legally blind. I can promise this is ours cause we built for this, kill for this. Pushing buttons, do it quick, push it off and do assist. Oh, y'all think we new to this? Pound for pound, break it down. Watch what we gon' do with this. Teamwork got us fluid with. Make y'all look like switches. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab nothing. Seems we moved on to a better place. Shine, shine away from the shade. But now that we're here, ain't no going back. Nah, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. And you know the flow, got him coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aight.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move.
All right. We're back, but we don't have an IP yet, guys. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. I promise. I've been asking very nicely to production, but they're just working on it. But figured we could chat. Figured we can hang out for a few minutes. You know, face to the name, whatever you want to think. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. I know we haven't started things off, but I'll do my little bit of an introduction one more time. For anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Laz, one of the ESEA next big caster contendants right now for the Mountain Dew Game Fuel League. So I have an opportunity to cast against 10 other contestants for a chance at the grand final. So hopefully you enjoy yourself, and be sure to chat away, and I'll try my best to look over as much as possible, but I also do have some mods in there to interact with you also. And just reading a little bit about that. Yeah, and I definitely agree. up 10, I think you're asking, you know, what do I need for streaming matches? Well, I mean, the obvious one is game fuel. I mean, need some of that pure game fuel to get ready to go, but kind of depends on the game. I definitely agree with my little moderator there. It really does depend on what you're kind of looking for and what you're doing, but definitely a decent PC obviously makes a big difference as well. Just waiting for an IP. I know there's a few people asking too, so looks like there was a bit of a server issue, so we're just waiting on that. So I figured, you know what, let's just hang out. I know it's not as exciting, but you know, figure this is kind of a nice little bit of a compromise, right? I'm doing good, Nasty. How are you? Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an IP, but the question is, will it work? Let's just make sure. But let's, you know, talk a little bit about some of the rosters. So just talking about, you know, on the side of Rebirth and talking the side of, you know, depth. That's the game we're here for today. So looking at Carson for Rebirth, definitely one of those players that I think can make a big impact. Definitely on the top of the one of the top players on there as well. Also Cynic, also with 90 ADR so far in the entire season, and a pretty well distributed. A lot of 1v1s actually between himself, Phantom, and Carson. So they are the clutchers, and Shoniak actually having the first ace on this roster from what I see as well. So you never know, maybe Shoniak's feeling a little bit hot and ready to go again. But when we take things over to depth, I mean, who can we not talk about? I mean, there's a lot of really good players on this roster, of course. And, I mean, Dare has definitely been on the top with an 82.83 ADR throughout the season. So he is definitely on the top right now. But we've definitely seen some great shots from Havoc and, of course, the other members as well. So looking forward to this game. And it's a difference of like one placing in the ESEA Mountain Dew League. So it's very, very close contention. Woohoo! Look at that. We got a server. We got some players. I like it. May not be a 5-on-5, but hey, we'll take it right now. Been quite some time since we've casted some Mirage here on the You're Welcome stream. It's been a minute, you know. Haven't seen a lot of it. So definitely giving the slight favor to depth. I mean, in terms of their record, I mean, they are 11-5 in the entire season right now. So they are considered, you know, we'll consider them the favorites so far. Just we're basing just straight statistics of wins and losses. But again, when we're at this kind of a high level, anything can happen. I mean, anybody can show up at any given moment. So you can never count any team out. I mean, we've seen it before, especially some of the other broadcasts that we've had throughout the last couple of weeks of MDL. Ways down to one person. I mean, now we got 9 in the server. 9. We just need one more. Then we can just watch some Counter-Strike. We're so close. Like, do I have to have like one of my Christmas like wishes right now for this? I have no idea. We're not even in December. For anybody just tuning in and wondering why we're delayed, there was some server issues. But don't worry, we got 9, not 10, but we're getting there. Gotta love the tech issues. Wouldn't be Counter-Strike without them. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about MDL. I mean, we got one person waiting on. Like, it's got to start any second, right? But either way, MDL, for anybody that isn't aware, you're definitely on the top of the competition. So there's multiple divisions in ESEA going from Open, Intermediate, Main, Advanced, and then, of course, now into the Mountain Dew League, MDL for short. Now, what these teams are doing is they're competing to go into the final divisions of the Pro League, climbing the way for glory, and it's a very slim selection that get picked on to keep going further. We have about 18 teams that are in the division. So some very good competition across the board. Don't worry, everyone. I am doing some detective work, figuring out what is going on. Apologies for the silent game so far, but we're waiting. Just reading the chat, and I guess there's a 4v5 match on too. I mean, we're right down to that last wire, right? Like, this is the last week of the regular season, and then we're going to be pushing off to playoffs. So, I mean, pressure's on for teams to show up and get their final games in for their placements. And nothing worse than playing on 4v5. Well, we see some knives out. Only 4 players from depth. So that's not the start you want. The CTs are running away as much as possible, trying to get away from their hunters, and now and for anybody that doesn't know the process, I mean, the whole point of the knife round is for allowing you to have the side that you pick if you win. So Rebirth having a player advantage definitely makes it a little bit better. I mean, unless we see something insane from both Snav and Shane. I mean, I think Rebirth's going to be having their first pick of what they want. And it finally has commenced, so they win the knife round, so they will select their side. So it looks like Rebirth going towards CT, Depth going on the T side with 4 players, and it looks like they are going to be forcing the 4v5. Not what you want to see. And I mean, it sounds like there's some issues from what I'm reading in the chat. And now, back to a pause. I feel like they're doing this on purpose to us, everyone. I just don't, I don't know what to say. Apologies, everybody, for the delay. We are still trying to figure out what's going on. And just to be clear, it has nothing to do with me, but just want to put it out there. Laz has nothing to do with this. Let's see some predictions in the chat. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard. I mean, you know, before if it would have been a 5-on-5, and like I was saying, Depth just on a basis of their position in the league, 11-5, definitely one of the top, you know, contenders. But if they actually have to play a 4-on-5, I mean, that's going to make things very difficult for them, especially on a T side. I mean, I think it'd be better to be 4v5 on a T side versus CT, but still makes it a lot more difficult. You know, I think it's a tough call. I mean, you know, just looking at these teams, like I said, it makes it a little bit more of a challenge when you lose your player, but I think they are looking as fast as possible for one of their subs on their roster to make it through. I think there was some PC issues or something like that. And a map like Mirage, in my opinion, I feel like it's become kind of more of that puggy map, so it's played all the time. It's kind of like the new Dust 2, right? Like it's really anyone's game. I mean, I think on this kind of a map, I mean, it's going to rely on the fragging power, you know, more than other maps where I think you can be a little bit more strategic on the way you win rounds and things like that. But a lot of big openings in this map, so it really encourages those engagements in the big duels. All right. Freeze time's canceled. Things are commencing. Depth not going to be able to get their fifth going, so will be a 4-on-5 unless some kind of a miracle happens. It looks like their fifth is having major computer issues, so not what you want in the last days of MDL matches in the regular season. And you see how I'm getting excited about it, and then all of a sudden just bam, another match pause. It feels so bad. Yeah, at this point, we kind of expect that it would go a 4-on-5 unless there's like some sort of a big promise. But sometimes, you know, both teams agree and they show the good sportsmanship as well. But we'll have to wait and see. Still talking to the admins, still trying to figure things out for everyone. But you know what? Let's just put on some... we'll just put on some music for you guys. I'm just going to do a little bit of some more investigating. Call me a detective.
So heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do right now. What I do right now for you. Carolina skies in the night, floating by your side. I fell up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, 'cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do right now. What I do right now for you.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah. Reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Shooting through the clouds, I know it's alright. It's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fly just one more night. One more night.
Well, I guess things have now started. So, 4v5, Depth going to be on with down one player, Rebirth, on the CT side. Already taking some serious damage, but now 4-pack starting things off, taking down one, trying to look for another. That's going to be Shane trying to look for another body if possible, but it's just falling apart. And now just down to Flush all by himself. Deagle in hand. No bomb, no utility, not even any armor Going to be stuck by himself, trying to land the shots, but he's going to get taken down. And Rebirth, they pick up the big pistol round. So we can already see Rebirth. They're getting very aggressive. Phantom already getting a lot of control through middle. Going to be able to gain some information. So Karshing going to be the one player that is just stuck in B apartments by himself with an MP9. So that is just going to be 2 members of Depth by themselves with the Negev. Oh no. And they're completely pinched. They're getting sandwiched. They can hear it though, but they're spamming away on Flush. He knows they're coming, so he's just holding down Mouse One. He's trying to make more, but he's going to get taken down. Already losing more players. And now Shane trying to get back some trades. But that's going to be the bomb down in Havoc. Creating some havoc of his own in the A site, but they don't even have the bomb, so now they're going to long trek to go in the B halls. Gonna be creeping the way through. Snap. Gonna find the head of that's gonna be 4-pack. So now things have changed. And Phantom, he's by himself. He's got a good angle. But he's gonna have to be the perfect timing for this spray, but he's not able to make it work in Depth. They somehow respond. And for anybody just tuning in, see a lot of questions about why the 4-on-5. So Depth, their 5th player, having some tech issues. The computer not turning on. And you know, last time I checked, you need a computer to work from when you play Counter-Strike. But unfortunately, they'll have to play with 4 and see what happens if their 5th can make something work maybe in that second half. But either way, we're here. Mirage, back to the 1-on-1. And Rebirth actually throwing that round away. Some careless play that we saw from them. And that's going to be 4-pack able to get 1 so far. So that's going to be the tall boy. Trying to make another, but he's going to get taken down. So the trades are back and forth again. The auto sniper in the hands of Flush. Somehow has the money for it. I don't even know how he has the funds for this. But he's just going to camp himself out in the back of T spawn. And all 3 players from Rebirth going to be in this site. So Depth, they could easily fall back and go to B, but instead they're going to try to, you know, frag things out. They're going to see what they can find. Will be snapped to find the 1 through the apartments. So now only just down to 2. Phantom has the deagle, but able to land the 1. Almost able to get the 2nd, but now he'll beat a Cynic by himself. Right behind the triple box. They might not expect this. He hasn't even made any noise, and he spams the deagle. He's able to get 1, but making it 2. The deagles are in store in Rebirth. They come back in amazing fashion. Some spicy deagles we got here today, folks. That's exactly what you want to see, especially when you do the Deeg save rounds. Not even a Deeg save round, Deeg force, I guess we'll call it, but still very, very close rounds nonetheless. And Flush going to be posted up, but he's actually going to get taken down. So now making it the 5-on-3 in Depth. Need to respond back. Snap able to find 1 through middle. He's going to have to deliver a little bit more. Carson is not too careful. Might get caught at the worst timing. And this is a good position. We can see. Going for the big flank through underpass and now able to take up 1. Able to get almost the 2nd with Carson able to get the back. And now Carson looking to find the last. MP9 in hand. It is just down to Snap by himself. It's a 1-on-3. And Rebirth pull big with the 3-1. Another save for Depth. They haven't had a lot of opportunity to get the bomb down. So they got no money. They got nothing to work with. They got Tech 9s, they got Deagles. I mean, we've seen some Deagles, but that was on the Rebirth side. So we'll have to see Depth. Shallow waters, I don't know. And this is tough. Like when you're on T side, you almost want to play together, but right now we're actually seeing that they're playing very separate. They're playing very spread apart from each other. So you're solely relying on your individual players to completely frag out, and you don't even have that opportunity for any trades. Whereas we can see on the A-Rank, that is going to be some coordination back and forth. Cynic able to spray down one. That's going to be the bomb. Trying to look for another one. Snap goes for the Y peak, but he's going to get demolished as well. And it's just down to Flush. He's got a gut knife. He's got a Deagle. Again, no armor. So the aim punch. Trying to see what he can make work of. Nothing. And it will be nothing now in Rebirth. Will get tested as we should see the AKs coming across. So I like this play from Death. I mean, they're playing a 2-and-2 split, partnering up the buddy system. But that buddy system doesn't even work on Phantom somehow. Okay. Gonna get a spray through. So now it will be Shane and just Havoc, the last two members remaining for Depth. And you can see Rebirth, they're getting so confident. I mean, they're feeling so good. They're pushing up mid. They're being fully aggressive. This 4-on-5 is making them feel great. Eye of the Tiger kind of thing. And Shane able to find the head of one. So now putting it back to the 4-on-2. But very big dish for both players to come up big. Havoc not able to make the connection. But Shane able to pick the one. Trying to look for another. But he's fully blind. The CTs are just pushing him. And Rebirth keeping things going as we're going into round number 7. 5-1. Back to the save. Depth. Some deep waters for them as they just have nothing to work with. And look at this is what I was kind of talking about. This is where these aggression players are now just putting Depth back even more. Making these shots. And that's going to be Snab able to find one. The high ground. And still 4-pack. They're just going to contest. I mean, they're just trying to get the frags. They're padding those stats. They're looking for what they can find. You can even see Carson now trying to have a little bit of action of his own, but he's actually going to get taken down to 17. And this is kind of the opportunity for Depth. I mean, if Rebirth plays is a bit too aggressive and a bit careless, this allows Depth to pick up rounds, but still 5-1. They have the lead, of course. No offs on the side of Rebirth yet, just rifles. Now the T's have finally made their way towards middle, getting new grounds. It will be Phantom. The closest one there, but he's not able to make the connection, so it will be Carson by himself in this B site. But also Cynic by himself also, so it's a complete split. Depth, they only have 14 seconds. Cynic goes for the one, goes for the second, and that's an easy pickup. Now Flush, again with a Deagle. This guy seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's going to be Rebirth picking up another round. All eyes on Snav. Big investment. $5,400 that he spent into this. AWP, some light armor. Gonna see what he can find with the AWP. Find that connection. Find that opening. Can that be the difference maker that they need? Actually, Flush playing a very tight ankle, still holding the ground, not letting go. Being the distraction. And now he's still pushing through. He's trying to still march his way, but he's going to get taken down. So the bomb tries to retreat back, but it's just not fast enough as it's going to fall on a ramp. The CTs, I don't know if they're aware that the bomb's down. I believe they would have saw it. And now we're back down to 1. And this is, let's just talk about, the 4v5 situation. I mean, for depth, like, this is frustrating. I mean, for any level. It doesn't matter if you're in open, doesn't matter if you're in advanced, MDL, doesn't matter. You lose one of your main players. It makes the biggest impact on the morale of the team. So we can see these guys are still trying to play their hearts out, trying to pull rounds through. And it's extremely frustrating when you lose your player to just something that you don't really have control over. Really unfortunate, but we'll hopefully see if they can get their 5th, if they can claw some rounds. Actually going for the peak, but that's going to be Snav, and he's been the one that's been just picking up these frags from time and time again. And now 4-pack. Trying to go to the kitchen to find some more beverages, but he only finds the 1 of depth. And look at how split they are. Like, when you look at the mini-map, they're both players are towards B and now going towards T-spawn. And the bomb, he's playing by himself quite a bit. It's quite scary when you think about it. Finally going to be regrouping together. Crab walking their way into middle. Trying to make work with what they have. They have 1 Molotov. Snav. The 1 member in the squad. And just really not being able to find that opportunity. Now, like I said, they're going to be relying solely on their fragging power. Bit of an interesting play. Oh no, Snav should find this frag, but actually Phantom takes him down, and Rebirth keep things going hot to 8-1. Yeah, I saw that as well. I'm just reading some of the chat. I mean, I saw the one player join. I'm like, oh, he came, he made it. But then it's a bit of a fake Rebirth. Playing with our hearts. And this, this is such a difficult map to 4v5 on it. And also, like, there's so many openings, but it does make it hard without a bunch of coordination. So trying to make with what they can do, but 4-pack. He's coming in for the flank. He's already pushed his way through. He's able to get the 1. Does he know the second's there? He sprays, and he finally makes the connection. Last bullet makes it through. And now Havoc, 20 HP. He's got an op. You want to save it, but there's no point because they're going to be hunting him. Double ops for Rebirth. Changing things up. Got some Kriegs, got some Augs. And back for depth going to the 2-and-2 setup. Splitting A and also splitting B. Trying to find any over-aggressive players from Rebirth. That will be the foot of Havoc's spot. So now 4-pack. Still trying to play with his food. Carson doing a very significant amount of damage against Havoc, and that nade should connect. Oh, it just misses, and Havoc, he's down to 2 HP. And it's falling apart. The cookie, it's completely crumbling. And I don't even know what the answer right now is for Depth. You know, just talking about Rebirth, this is good discipline for them. They're not just over peaking this. They're still holding their ground. Not playing careless. Still locking things down. I mean, they're up 9-1. You know, you can get that little bit of a temptation. You're like, I feel like let's just hunt. Let's just get some frags. Let's see what we can do. But instead, they play nice and composed. And we see why it pans off there, 10-1. If Depth can pull off a couple more rounds, this could be a decent transition, but CT side with 4 players, it's going to be tough. And we haven't really seen Depth like try to even just go for a full rush or some kind of coordination. I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, the utility, it's been very lacking, but we haven't seen them try to contest at all. And there's actually the first contention with Havoc. What is that? He doesn't even make the connection. He sprays so frantically and he's not able to make those shots. But Shane, able to reply back. But let's not talk about it, Havoc. Shane able to pick up 2 before he falls, and that's Deagle only. Will be flush by himself. A 1-on-3 situation. The Lone Ranger at A. No bomb. No weapons. See what he can find. He might be able to sneak against Cynic, but he's going to have to be very, very careful because we can even see Rebirth. They're not even playing towards B, so he could creep his way around. But the bomb, it's all the way back in middle. And T-Apps. Back to the full gun round one more time for Depth. They're trying to see what they can make work with. Flush replies back. Getting the first exchange. So now we're at a 4-4. Equalized game. The Caster's Curse. But Havoc trying to creep his way through the smoke. He might be able to find more. Snap able to get back. So this is looking good. They respawn back. Leaving it now to Carson. And only leaving it down to 1. Sprays for 1. Sprays for 2. What on earth is that? The flick of the wrist makes the connection. Depth, you had it in the palm of your hands, and now you relied on a 1-on-1 situation. Snav goes for the spray, and he's able to, or not the spray, but able to make the scope and connect it. In Depth pick up their second round, making it 11-2. 11-2, round 14. Money. It's not really a factor for Rebirth, but instead decide to go for the 5 rifles across the board in 4-pack. Should be waiting for the flashbang to come from his teammate. He sprays, but he's actually going to get blind as well, and Shane makes the first connection. So now Phantom going to be seeing if he can test these waters. Revenge his teammate. He's able to find one, trying to look for another, but flush. The trades are back and forth. It's a complete shooting gallery and flush. You take down your own teammate. I don't know why. But Snav by himself, hanging out in the back of apartments, finds the one head, tries to find the second, and he does. So now it's a one-on-one, and he has the bomb. He's got 1 minute and 7 left. He's got lots of options, but he's going to hightail his way to A. Cynic hears him. He can reposition himself, but Snav, he's actually playing a bit of a fake. Baits the sound cue, so now you can see Cynic's getting ready. He's posted up on the stairs, but now Snav, if he runs fast enough, he can make it to B without any sort of a problem. But if he delays it too long, Cynic might kind of anticipate this. Now what I'm wondering is if Snav's going to bait it all the way to the end. You can see now Cynic, he's just going to post up in B. He's going for the gamble. Snav drops, and he's able to make the connection. That's a 1-on-3. And he pulls through another round, and if they can pull up this round to go into the second half, it's not bad, all things considered. Back to mid we go. Hi-ho, hi-ho. Op going to be for 4-pack. Finds the connection onto Havoc. Flush. Waiting patiently in the smoke, but not able to pounce. Depth. The highs of the last round just don't seem to be transitioning into this next. Leaving it only to Shane. The nail in the coffin and Rebirth take that first half 12-3. All right, we're going live. Second half, 12-3 from the first. Rebirth now switching over to the T side. Depth still with 4 players on the CT. The biggest test, the pistol round. And they're going to be grouping up into window. And a very good start for them already, making it now to the equalized 3-on-3 situation. 4-pack going to be running his way into the site, and he makes the connection with a Glock. A bit sketchy at the end, but he finally makes it work. Will be Shane and Snav, and they're going to be actually playing very close together, but Shane will try to come help his teammate, and Snav falls, and it all collapses, and Rebirth, they pick up the pistol. I mean, really, who was the best James Bond? Ooh, this might be a debate. So many decent James Bond actors. And now, a complete mowing. Snap tries to make it work, and I mean now. Shane, let's just see if he can get some sick highlight reels. Picking up some frags, looks for one. He's trying to get something through the wall, and he's able to get another frag. But now they're hunting, but he just moves at the wrong time. I think he would have been able to potentially land that, but Rebirth 2 rounds away from taking this best of 1. Negev's on the board. You think you never say that? Making Negev work, and that's only going to be able to pick up one. Cynic finds the shoulder of Shane, but he actually doesn't get the frag. But Carson goes for one, tries to make it to a third, and now Rebirth pick up their next round, putting themselves into match point 15-3. There's no money to work with depth. The waters are too deep. You're drowning. They put the Famises. What do you got in store for us? I do agree. I do like Pierce Brosnan. I really do. I think he's good. Sean, of course. Yeah, you got to go with Sean. Sean's good too. Like I said, there's a lot of good, it kind of depends, right? Like everybody's got their own opinion, but quite a few decent 007. I mean, we could even talk about Batman. I mean, there's been so many different actors for Batman. Daniel Craig, okay, yeah. I'm pretty like even for everybody, to be honest. I don't feel like I'm like one person only. I'm like, oh yeah, Pierce Brosnan, he's the best, he's the GOAT. I don't know. I think they're all good in their own way. And that's going to be that. Rebirth taking the big W, pulling things ahead. 16, I believe that was 16-4. And I definitely apologize for everybody having to wait for so long. That's the unfortunate thing about tech issues, is that we try our best to make sure we give lots of opportunity for the players to connect, but unfortunately, just no dice. But for anybody that isn't aware of who I am, just want to do another quick shout out to myself, of course. My name is Laz. I'm competing and a contestant for the ESCA Next Big Caster Challenge, which means I am trying to see if I can go to the finals as one of the next big casters. So if you enjoyed yourself, thank you so much for tuning in. We do have one more match that we will be going through in about 5 to 10 minutes, which will be Third Impact versus X Recon 5. So looking forward to that game. I think things can go, either way. I mean, we've seen some good games from X Recon 5, but we'll have to wait and see. Third Impact, I've been waiting a little while to cast one of their games. So we'll be just taking a short break. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you soon.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming